Also, I wanted to tell you this. They wanted us to tell you, when they got the bad Americans tried to kill me and tried to kill us in Turkey, and what how they were executed. Okay, basically those three gay American soldiers were wanted for trying to kill my beloved community and I, little kids, and they were executed later when they tried to instead of being arrested, they tried to kill me before they were arrested. Basically, and we told you that the Turkish police were crying. We're telling you they were crying, and also the military was called out to arrest him. Our beloved Abadot Nasik Recep Erdogan and my beloved King Shabtai, they called out the military to arrest those people. They were being arrested anyway for trying to kill me and my beloved King Shabtai with little kids because they said they were soldiers from America, and basically said and bad USA soldiers. And then 4 weeks later, a man that was waiting for them, also a bad American soldier in Bulgaria, he tried to kill me. And basically said he tried to kill me. He was being arrested too, and he was executed also. And there was one we wanted to tell you about, Colin Powell's son. Colin Powell left one of his sons in there. He left him to tried to destabilize Turkey and cause problems. His wife was a Leah. He was a Leah person, basically said. And this is what he did. He went and he told people I was crazy. He was a policeman, a crooked police, and he was being arrested. And what he did was he helped some people that you saw here that were harassing and doing things in Turkey. And so I'm making it short. So what he did was he took me someplace and there was a Borman, big Borman, the crooked doctor, and they pinned me down on the table and injected me, and the drug was so strong that I couldn't walk away. They took me back to the police station. And the policeman said, he said, go ahead and you can go. I said, go where? I said, I couldn't stand up. He said, why? I said, because they drugged me. And he said, who drugged you? I said, that policeman. But I said, and that crooked doctor. So they put me in the van and they drove to the man's house, Colin Powell's son, one of his sons, who he had left there trying to stabilize Turkey. The man he had this big brick house, and how you get that? And he was painting it. They put him in the car and put him in the van. They drove a really far away. And they got out, left me in the van. They had a sit-down dinner, obviously, because a full-course meal, and then they came back in the van. Then they had to take me to the hospital because I couldn't walk. Because they drove a real long way. The hospital let me go later. There was also another crazy woman there. They said, she's crazy. She was a doctor. She dressed all in war green. They said, she's crazy. She's the one that's crazy. But I said, so long story short, they took me there because I couldn't, the drug was so strong, whatever it was, I couldn't even stand up. So making long story short, they obviously executed that Borman too. So it was time to eat breakfast. I'm there, and all the people start running, and I'm like, "What's the matter?" But I didn't understand. It was a dead body. Colin Powell's son didn't leave the way that he was taken there to crooked police, because it was during sledgehammer, and he was wrapped up in a sheet, a flower sheet, and I know he couldn't breathe. He had a really unusual shaped head, and they carried him out on a stretcher. But that's it, because they were known. It was an organized police sting, and they got caught trying to kill us. And my husband and I, my beloved King Shabtai, the Sultana of Turkey, my royal Rothschild's birth dad, he was the Sultan of Turkey, and he was murdered a long time ago. Bad Americans always threatening to try to kill him. That's it, and I'm making fun of it. And they said that they would defend our dad, but that's it. That they would really do something to somebody trying to hurt dad, but that's it. So we became the Sultan and Sultana of Turkey. I'm Sultana. I'm the Sultan, and so that's what they did when they arrested that man. All he had to do was be arrested. He was going to be dealt with anyway. What he did, he killed people in Turkey. But that's what he did. He tried to kill me, and they thought that Shabby and I were having a baby. But they said that was another reason why they did it too. For Colin Powell's son-in-law. And there was another one. He was also being arrested too. He was also a Borman, not from Turkey, and he was one for trying to kill us when we were little kids. He was some kind of, and this is what he did. I was going to trap zone. Okay, so it. Trap zone, going to trap zone. And so this is it. I was on a bus. So Borman and Aliyah, not from Turkey, driving the bus. They did their part. They tried to send me back to Istanbul. I was on the bus, and they tried to keep my bag. So here comes the military police, Mr. Sid. The man was being arrested when he tried to muzzle me. He called himself being part Italian. He wasn't part Italian, and he was a Borman. Everybody knew what he had done. So they took me back to the office. The military police are different. So it's a nice office, Mr. Sid. We had the television, everything in it. But when I went to go walk up the steps, the man knocked me down. I saw the soldiers cock their guns, his subordinates. I said, "Oh, don't do that in front of me." This is it. And so he was been arrested for trying to hurt my husband. He wanted for trying to kill me and my beloved feet and all our family because of people. He was somebody that came in and tried to stabilize too. So then they had to take me. They had to take me to the bus station because the man was wrong. He's been arrested. I had to identify him. But I had a vision that on his way back to the office, the soldiers that were supposed to put him away, they shot him while he was inside the van. Okay, the man was being arrested for trying to hurt us all. And so basically said, he was involved. They were involved. Sledgehammer was they executed people involved in trying to kill us and trying to take our things. They caused the Teledady kids too. They said, well, we're having a party. We don't have parties like that, and they tried to kill all of us, including our Rothschilds family members. They tried to kill our beloved Rothschilds family members and others at our party. They had planned to do that, and they were executed. They hung everybody. Our household workers, people, our workers. My husband and I arrived early to try to break my husband's neck, to break mine. The butler. And then we had to ask him, like, try to get a phone call to our family. Please don't hurt our family. Please don't hurt our family like that. It's a castle. Please don't hurt our family. Please don't hurt our family. Please let us call and the maid was like, it's easy poison your family, kill your family members, and talked about one fat one. We just gave them poisoned food. But eventually we got to make a phone call. She was the only one who went to jail. The rest of them were hung. She was the only one who went into a prison cell. The other ones were hung right away. They made us watch because they wanted to see what they would do to people who hurt us. They said sit. And so they made us watch. I said, "Oh, Shabby," I said, his eyes bugged out. The butler that tried to break our necks, and Shabby said he was hung. That's why. The woman who got us the phone call, she was taken to jail, but they found her later hung in her jail cell. Okay, so now Transfer Captain said, "We talk to you since we can because it's wrong to try to kill people to take their things." And somebody just said, we just want to let you know too. People inherit castles like they inherit businesses and other things. But that's it. And so, people were wrong trying to kill us and try to take our things. So, and at the same castle, our military lives on there, and when I was supposed to go and I went to our castle last time, people came in trying to write on the walls. We don't rent the rooms anymore, like for honeymoon stuff like that. And the employees had to be well, they were actually executed because they were in Pastor Charles's and American government, and they were involved in kidnapping abduction. All they had to do was be fired and arrested, and they didn't want, and then they would be dealt with that way. But they resisted, and they started all those riots, and they were executed. Okay, so now to self-norm, we talked to you as soon as we can. But we wanted to tell you that people tried to hurt us on they tried to come here and steal things too. As I said, they tried to go all over our kingdom. The same people you see, and they're in different places, trying to come try to take our things. We're the honest people, we're the good people. We inherited things, we are real. Me and my beloved we're all family citizens people, beautiful fans, we're related to the kingdom, our beloved kingdom, blessed forever, we're extraordinary people, as we're the good people. Our people hurt, come back to resurrection, and live for eternity. We live for eternity, and we're still by our love of God alone. That makes sense. So, the people trying to hurt us, so came to hurt me and my beloved kingdom, such as Shabby feet, and our family, the people in the bounds of the kingdom, and brothers' kingdom lasts forever and never restrained, never to be transferred to another people, never destroyed, as we live for eternity. And our people come back to resurrect and live for eternity too. So we just want to tell you some of these things because it was legally done in a court of law, and those people came trying to tell those lies. And basically it. And everybody, was an organized police thing. They saw. This it. They saw. I have been kidnapped 3 other times before. They tried to kidnap my blood husband, Championship Beat, and I were born. It's actually 3 or 4 times before. And our relatives were able to stop them, and workers visited, and the organized police thing. They still kept trying to, but they actually got caught anyways. Because our relative was dying in the back of our house said when he was shot by some creep, he says that God was telling him that we'll be able to arrest the people trying to hurt us. They kept trying to bother us and kept trying to do stuff to us, basically, doing that too. So everything's done legal in court of law, and that's what I wanted to say to you. Okay, we'll talk to you as soon as we can. And Shabbat Tov again.